everybody. This might seem like quite a strange time of day for us to be filming a GHOSTOPS. As you can see, it's bright sunshine, baking hot.
It's the hottest day of the year so far.
Yeah, I think it is.
Reaching highs of 26.
So we should be toasting today as we are heading a little bit further north from where we are now, heading up to sort of Long Stanton area around North Cambridge. Basically, I've been looking up for the last couple days, it feels like. I'm getting sick of now looking at buildings. Like, I was looking at that house over there, I was like it feels like I'm having Vietnam flashbacks looking at houses. But anyway, I've been searching up loads and loads of abandoned places that are nearby, and then like straight up just going on Google Earth and spending hours trying to find ones that haven't been found already. I got a list of a few that I've found from the Long Stanton sort of area, and we were talking maybe go up there, have a look, see if, because this is the thing with a lot of these abandoned places, we don't know if they're now turned into housing estates, if they've been demolished, if they're completely inaccessible. So for instead of like spending an entire episode to go and try and film one, get there and it doesn't even exist anymore, yeah, we'll try and hit like a bunch in one episode. So we'll come out a bit earlier today to have a look through these. So first one I got on here, this one's quite a small one. I don't even know if this one's going to be more than just like drive past, yeah, and there it is. But there's a little village called Over. Right, as in... Yeah. Spelled exactly the same way in like North Cambridge. Right. North Cambridge, sort of to the east. And basically there's these two little bungalows that I've seen before. We've actually driven past them a couple times, heading out that direction. And so, yeah, I think it's just going to be a case of there's two little bungalows, just go past and there they are. After that, I've got a place called Giant's Hill, which we've been right near before. We went to the care home. Yeah. It's literally like along the road from there. It's an old, used to be like a medieval fort or medieval settlement. So it's just a hill at the moment, but it might have some ruins and stuff there. It's hard to see from that street view and stuff. What's there. So that's just along, again, like it's just same sort of area. Yeah. All right, another one I got is a place called, well, actually this is the thing, I couldn't actually find the name of this building itself, but it's right near some government buildings that were called like Stone something. I'll put it up on the screen if I remember. But I just called this the RAMPTON Drift Facility. Right. So it's basically, there's a road near RAMPTON. It's got like a house, like loads of houses on it, and the road's called RAMPTON Drift. And then just off that on Street View, you can see there's a massive complex that's all there. The main building's all sealed up with those metal shutters and stuff, but there might be a way in. But then I've noticed that, like, looking from above, there's lots of additional buildings that are all scattered about from it. And then I've actually think I found an access point to get to it that's kind of off a footpath. So that's one to possibly have a look at. We might not all hit these today. We might not do every single one of these today, but it's a long scroll. It's quite a few I've got. Yeah, next one, Long Stanton Mansion. Like the sound of that. Which is the one that we've talked about going to a lot of times before. There's already a lot of pictures on it. I think it's called like Willingham Mansion or something is the actual name of it. Oh, I know, yeah. It's the one that's got the cars. Yeah, this has been in years in the making of trying to get here. So one of the main reasons that we've kind of had trouble trying to get to this one is just because we have to drive there, because we live quite far away from it. We're just trying to find somewhere to park that isn't miles and miles away from it. So I think we might just have to have like a, I don't know, when we get there, just like a brainstorm and have a look at the map, maybe see what we can do about that. Another massive one. I don't know how security protected this one will be, because I'm sure I remember reading stuff before about this might have a few security issues with it, but then I've seen people have gotten there fine before as well. It's called Houghton Grange Animal Testing Facility. Oh, I've heard of that one as well. In a place called Houghton, or however you say it. It's a massive like estate where it looks like got giant buildings, houses, labs, everything. Isn't that where the zombies from 28 Days Later came from? So it looks like the sort of place, honestly. This one might be a bit too far. Might be one for another day. It looks like it used to be a fun fair or something. Oh, this sounds like a static fun fair site. It's got like a big top tent thing there and like a weird fun house looking thing. Right. That's not that fun anymore. Not that fun anymore. Well, especially a few years ago, it used to be home to quite a lot of illegal raves, and I think it burnt down part of it. Right. Okay. So that should be an interesting one to look at. The weird one about that is that you literally go along That's the road name on here. The A142. And it's sort of like out in the middle of nowhere, and then you turn off and there's parking and stuff there.
Yeah.
And on Street View there was cars parked there. So it's like I've got a big car park. The whole place, I think, is still. It looks like it's all shut down.
Yeah.
Everything's all abandoned there. But there's all cars in the car park, or like a few cars in the car park. I don't know if there's something nearby they use that for instead. Yeah, that one's like a really weird, interesting one. I got RAF Witten. Had you heard that?
No, I don't think I have.
Right. So this is as you might have
Is it an air base?
It's an air base. Yeah. And it's near a existing air base, and I don't. It might be a military air base.
Yeah.
The other one. So this is another one where it might be like we get there and it's a bit trickier than we thought. It looks like an entire air base. You know, like RAF Upward.
Yeah.
It looks like that sort of.
Oh, just the whole thing
scale of
deserted.
thing. Yeah, it looks like that sort of thing. From looking at pictures, it reminded me a lot of RF Bodney as well.
Yeah.
With those sort of buildings, but like there's like about 15 of them. It looks like
wicked.
out that way. And then a very, very small one is one that I found this morning again called Padney Hill House.
Like the sound of it again.
Which is
got some good names. Some of
yeah,
these.
yeah. Well, this one just looks like this is again like the over cottages.
Yeah.
Just a little house that's there on a farm that's all kind of derelict.
Yeah. I quite like places like that though.
Yeah, it's pretty out in the middle of nowhere. The last one on the list that I looked up this morning, Wimpole Hall Ruins.
Wimpole Hall. I swear I've been there on a school trip.
Yeah.
Wimpole Hall.
Well, it's a big.
I think they had a zoo or something there.
It's a big country estate
Yeah.
building with loads and loads of grounds, but the ruins themselves is like this big medieval looking tower thing with a few little buildings and stuff around it, and that's quite out in the middle of nowhere, and it's a nice day. Go for a walk around the country estate.
There is. They've got a carp pond. So I remember feeding carp
Oh right.
as a 3-year-old.
They look like they've got a massive car park there as well, so we shouldn't have any trouble parking at that one. I reckon at some point we're going to probably have to stop at a pub somewhere for a drink. It's such a nice.
You know what? As soon as I left the house, I thought, oh, I think a pint might be.
Yeah, I think it's in order for today. But we'll crack on, see if we can actually get to any of these. While we're driving, I'll try and figure out which one to go to first because they're sort of scattered about.
Yeah.
We'll find a way there, and we'll probably see you when we get there.
Probably, we will.
So we have just arrived at our first location for the day, and going to have a look at this place, which I've just been naming the RAMPTON Drift facility because it's off a road called RAMPTON Drift. If anything, it's just going to be an interesting kind of like have a look and see what it is.
Because you never know what you might.
Never know what you're going to get. Again, it might be one that's just been built over since, but I can see a few little buildings about. This is effectively leading off to.
And it's a public byway.
It's a public byway.
By law.
So if we carry on down here, hopefully we'll start to see some buildings. Yeah, stuff's all trampled over here as well. About a hole.
Well, that's it in there. I don't know.
Well, if anything, people have come through here.
We're actually going to fit through that hole.
I don't know who's been using it. Dwarves. Alright, so we found a little hole that possibly gives us access through to the RAMPTON Drift facility. Well, there is a sign saying about guard dogs on patrol, but it looks quite old, so I mean we've been through worse.
I don't know. That's. I mean, give it a go, but.
It's fine. So I can see something moving way over there, something white moving. I don't know if maybe there's a pathway. I guess just follow these tracks. So we're actually in the facility now by the looks of it. All the main buildings are over this direction. Again, like all the old street lights along here.
Must have been something pretty heavy security to have fences like that.
We still got in.
These must have been roads. You can see where the tarmac's been.
It really does feel like we're in like a compound, like a prison camp or something. I'm just cautious about that way because there's like some white cars or something driving about. I don't know if that's still security. I heard a dog barking, but I don't know if that's just on the footpath. There's a hole in the fence there. I can see the building over there. You can see it with the windows sealed up.
White van up there.
White van over there, yeah. Well, yeah, the Rampton Drift facility I can see through the trees over that way.
Is that the actual government facility through there?
I think we might be in the government.
There's a gate there.
Yeah.
The road. There's a gate there in the road that looks like it might be a used road.
Yeah. I think this is the newer part of it. That could possibly be the government facility.
Yeah.
I can see that white van over there you're on about as well.
Yeah.
Well, what we can do is if we get back in the car, I can drive around to the front so I can show you where it is we can get in. But yeah, unfortunately, I think it might just be a case this one's slightly too sketchy, especially seeing as it's not even as if it's like, oh, the farmer might come out.
Yeah.
It's the government might come out. But potentially, like, oh shit, go. Why? Yeah, I can use that.
What was it?
Well, security guys. Oh, Jesus.
What's the first time we've actually run somewhere?
It's the first time I've run in ages. I could see like what looked like cars or something further away. At points driving around. I reckon if one of them had been like, oh, we've picked someone up on a camera. They all come. So it might not have been anything, but I don't really want to stick around to find out if it. What we can do is we can drive around and show you the actual building we're trying to get into, but from where we were, like to progress forwards to that building, it seems like it's all open.
Right, I got you.
And the fact there's a white van sitting there parked towards us and a car's just pulled up.
We saw, we didn't conquer,
but see, that's probably the highest security one I reckon we might run into today.
That's the highest security one we've ever been to.
Yeah. The other big facilities that we've got today, they might have like a small scale on-site security team, or none at all. Not the, nah. So we're back in the car now. We're just driving along to basically show you where we were headed towards. I don't know.
There it is.
This might be the government building now, because on the Google Earth pictures I think it looks a lot different actually. This driveway part here looks familiar.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so you can see like the level of like security we've got going on there. It's like prison sort of levels. But you can see down the end of that section. Here you go. Look, these are the buildings.
Yeah, we wouldn't have got in there.
No, that's high level. It's a big old building. Loads of little buildings off it.
So many places there.
You can see how. I don't reckon we would have got inside it.
Each individual thing's fenced off though as well.
Yeah, just look at like the level of security they've got on it. There's not a single crack. It's really sealed up tight, that one. So after much debate about whether you can park in the park and ride, we have arrived at our second location for the day.
Yeah, which is Park and Ride in Longstanton. It's been about 2 years ago we came here and couldn't find anywhere to park, despite the fact there's a massive Park and Ride.
Yeah, they've literally built this entire car park just for us to come and look at this abandoned mansion.
Yes, all these people are there as well.
Yeah, well it'd be unfair otherwise, you know. We've got a short walk down the road and then we'll join you there. Right, we are now. careful of to the right of us. Yeah, here it is. So here we are. This is Willingham House. It's amazing after so long of trying to get here to finally be here. And so we've got this front bit in it. Oh, everything that runs out the back of it.
Very
uplands.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
You see up there, on the inside of the window ledge, there's like burnt timbers.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading online that the reason this place is now like this is because there was a fire here that basically caused the place to fall into disrepair afterwards.
Yeah.
There's something about like a German man who owned it or built the house, and then after the fire he left it. Yeah, so like we said earlier, we've been trying to get here for quite a while.
It's like the last time I drove past it was pouring with rain, so we couldn't find anywhere to park without walking.
That's it. It's as if it was a good job that we didn't get in that time because the weather's so good today. I think we're just gonna get bit to death by gnats is the only thing because there's bugs everywhere. But yeah, this is Willingham House or Willingham Hall.
Oh, is that there's something in the fireplace?
In the fireplace. This seems like almost the sort of place that would have a basement.
It does.
In fact,
that's what this cool place is here.
Just in bits. What's that?
I don't know what they are. There's obviously a bit of a bed there, but then there's like this thing. Something there.
Yeah, this is a nice find. But yeah, there's more to have a look at down here. I like that. Jesus saves, and then Jesus saves by Slayer as well on top of it. It's just finding a route through.
I can see the car back there.
Yeah, I think it was a Volkswagen, but I'm not sure now looking at it. I don't know if it's just collapsed. What do you reckon that is?
Doesn't look like... Oh!
She's falling through the wood.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a Volkswagen.
I don't think you'll get anywhere with it.
No, it needs a new fan belt.
You've seen the tyres on it, or the wheel spikes.
Is that some kind of ploughing?
It's got some motor on it here.
Is it a lawnmower?
Wow. Spooky little shed. Oh, it's an old fridge freezer.
Do you reckon that is 50s?
Oh, yeah. It's got the 50s look to it. There's another car there.
There's not much in here actually.
There's a bird nest.
It must have been fairly well off to have like
A car door.
two Shell Oil. No, like two cars.
And a house.
And a house. And all the... Well no, bearing in mind if they're 50. Like
Yeah.
Two cars and
Yeah,
one
yeah,
50s.
yeah. Oh wow. What is that?
That's a plough or something, isn't it? No, it's not. It's got a tractor attachment.
It's a kind of like decorative archway thing to go from the field into here.
So even that looks like with the spokes on the wheel. That can't be last 40, 50 years, I wouldn't have thought.
A cave? What?
don't know if it's just sewage drain or...
Is it time for another episode of Crawling in Holes?
No, it looks a bit grotty down there.
I don't know what that would be. That's like a
Be an air raid shelf.
well, that's what I thought at first, but then this is all this is quite a thin concrete on top. Did we see that on the way in? We saw that one.
There's 3 cars here. That looks the same.
This one, and there's one just here. It's just here.
Oh yeah, there. These look the same though. Very similar.
It's an Austin or something. It's got this on the front. That gives anyone any clues as to what it is.
It's like the engine in there. Look at that.
Good as new. Actually, that bit there ain't too bad. The
Oil
little
on still.
yeah.
Yes, they are.
There we are. You can see quite a lot of the fire damage about. The living room's all sunk. You can see the fire damage on the window and the wood there. Then like even where the floorboards would have gone across. Look how far that drops down.
But that would have been the cellar.
Is that the furnace down there? That big.
Yeah, looks like it.
So I wonder if we can find stairs down to the furnace. Oh yeah. Those bricks look quite new actually.
I think there was a floor. This would have still been ground level. There'd have been a floor here,
Yeah.
and all the beams have just the actual floor is sunk.
You can tell how old it has been here because you've got this tree growing up from this lower section all the way up through. There's a massive metal framed spider thing up in that room. So you say you reckon was this a basement, do you reckon, or do you reckon this is just a lower floor?
Well, if you look there would have been floorboards coming out.
I wonder if that goes down to another floor under there. So those floorboards go along here.
So about waist height would have been the ground floor, I reckon.
So maybe there's just so much stuff that's built it up because like under here you've got a fireplace here.
Yeah, that's a good point. But then why would there be beams coming out?
Well, that's why I'm thinking this is too high up.
I reckon there's probably another 3 or 4 foot below this, maybe
Hmm.
more.
Let's get out in one piece. Oh. Almost. You can see all the fire damage on this door here. There's not anything around that way, is there? Oh, it's like sort of grand staircase thing going around. I think it's just more of those sheds. Motorbike. Yeah, there we go. That is the Willingham house.
What did you say?
Windy house. That's the Willingham house. Oh, so that's two for today's episode done.
Pit stop time.
We have come back towards RAMPTON direction and gone through. We've gone through Tottenham, haven't we? We're in Tottenham.
Yes, we're in Tottenham now.
On the way to the care home, to have a stop in there to see what it's like over in that direction.
That was 2 years ago we went there last, I reckon.
Is it that long?
Nearly 2 years, I think.
So we've got that to have a look at, and then another one from the list. We've got Giants Hill, which is just down the road from it. before it gets dark, probably get to Houghton
Well,
Grange.
we've been out exploring about 4 hours and it feels like an hour.
Because we've had the journey all the way out here, plus we've had like an hour or so at each place, and driving about in general. So it's been quite a long day, even just for the 2 places so far. But we're going to try and get in at least maybe 2 more, and maybe have that as a part 1 of this adventure around.
It has been an adventure.
Yeah. And then maybe in part 2 we will catch up with stuff close to Peterborough, out down that way. The outdoor centre.
That's where I want to go. I'm looking forward to that one.
It looks so cool. It looks like a big circus outside, so it's going to be fun.
Fit right in.
Yeah. So we will probably catch back up with you once we get to everywhere that direction.
Once we get to there.
Yeah, once we get to the bottom of it. We actually saw one of these